Hi, and my name's Mr. Ablett, and I'm going to be your new band teacher for this year. This video is all about introducing trumpet for the first time, understanding how to put it together, how to hold it, how to make a sound, how to look after the instrument. Whole bunch of information is going to be shared over the next 20 minutes to half an hour. And I hope you review this video, maybe even more than once if you need to. And that'll help you to just have a really good start this year in band. So I'm just going to turn the music down here and we're going to get started right away. Do you have your trumpet with you? If you don't, I'm going to pause just for a second. You can hit the pause button and make sure you grab your instrument so that you're ready to go. Okay? Let me change the angle a little bit here. Okay, good. So now that you have your instrument, our cases are all going to look a little bit different. Mine looks like this. It's got a big zipper on the front. Instead of like a clasp here and a clasp here. All cases are a little bit different. But just so that we start right at the beginning, I'm going to open up my case and show you what my trumpet looks like. So my trumpet is silver. Yours might be brass colored. That's okay. It doesn't really matter. Putting the trumpet together is super simple. Okay, it's one of the easiest things you're going to do. Okay, so there's your trumpet and your mouthpiece. And putting it together, you just put the mouthpiece in there and give it a little bit of a turn. And that's it. It's a pressure fit, okay? So that way the mouthpiece shouldn't wobble or anything like that. It should make a really good connection. And yeah, so that if you put your trumpet upside down, the mouthpiece shouldn't fall out. Now, we're never actually going to turn the trumpet this way. We really don't want the mouthpiece falling on the floor, okay? So let's talk about the different parts of the trumpet, okay? So as we talked about already, this is the mouthpiece, all right? This is the rim of the mouthpiece. This is the cup. And this long part is the shank of the mouthpiece. And the shank of the mouthpiece goes inside the receiver of the trumpet. Again, just a little bit of a scooch, a little pushing gently and turning, and you'll feel it grab in there. That's the way it's made to connect. We never want to do this because you can imagine what happens. Sometimes the mouthpiece gets stuck. Now, if your mouthpiece ever gets stuck in your trumpet, that's a problem. You need to come and talk to me about that specifically. I have a special tool that I purchased from a repair shop that will remove stuck mouthpieces. If you just take it into your garage and put it in a vise and start yanking on it, you can cause major damage to your trumpet, okay? And it's a pain because it won't fit in your case properly with the mouthpiece attached for most trumpets. So come and talk to me. I carry it with me every day. And if it's stuck during band, I'll be able to take care of that for you, okay? Even if you have somebody strong who can go like this and really turn it with a lot of strength, that can damage your trumpet too. So bring it to me. If it happens while you're at home, if you drop your trumpet for some reason and it lands on the mouthpiece and it gets stuck, just do your best to bring it to school and I'll take care of it for you. Otherwise, you have to take it to a repair shop. Okay, so anyways, that's the mouthpiece. This tube that we blow into is called the lead pipe. All right, the lead pipe. And this is the pinky ring. And on this side, you have your tuning slide. Ooh, that moves in and out. Okay. There's actually a whole bunch of tuning slides on a trumpet. Did you know that? So there's the main one there, and then there's a couple for your left hand. So there's this one here. That's for valve number 3. There's a special tuning slide just for that valve. And then some trumpets have what's called a thumb saddle. Mine has that. You see how it has the little U shape? And that's where my thumb goes. And so I can move that tuning slide in and out too. And that tuning slide is attached to valve number 1. Valve number 2 has a tuning slide too, but we don't usually fiddle with it too much. Okay, it's just that little baby one. Okay. Now, important that if you're ever pulling out this tuning slide, you push down the valve first. Okay, and that way it doesn't damage the instrument when you pull the tuning slides in and out. Okay, and that goes for all the valves. Make sure you push the valves down before you move the tuning slide. Cool? All right, so let's talk about how to put it together. We've already done that, and we're moving right along here. Super easy. Hand position. Wow. This is a challenge for a lot of trumpet players, how to hold the instrument properly. Okay, so let's talk about the left hand. The left hand holds the instrument, the entire weight of the instrument. Your right hand doesn't lift the instrument at all. It's all done with the left hand. Okay, now you can see that, I've got big, huge hands, and so I have an advantage in that regard, that it's just easier for me to hold the trumpet. But basically what we want to do is that, you see this valve, 3 valves all together, you want to squeeze those with your hand, okay? You don't have to squeeze really hard, but that's where your hand rests, okay? Now, there's this little ring here. All trumpets should have one of those. You can put your middle finger in that ring, and then your index finger goes right around the valve casing there, okay? So index finger goes here, thumb goes there, and ring finger goes inside the little ring finger holder, okay? And that's how you hold onto the trumpet. I'll show you from this angle as well. Okay, so my thumb fits in there, and my index finger's right there, my middle finger there, and the rest of my hand's just underneath supporting the trumpet, okay? Now, I don't stick my whole hand all the way through, okay? I just use my fingertips. You don't need more than that. Most of the trumpet's weight is resting on that finger anyways. And the trumpet really isn't that heavy. It's only a pound or 2. No big deal. Okay, clear so far? So now right hand, take your right pinky, and just the tip of the pinky goes inside the pinky ring. Please don't stick your whole pinky all the way through there. Okay, just the tip of the pinky. And then the tip of the thumb goes underneath the lead pipe. Just like that. All right. And then your hand sits on top like this. Now, so many students tend to get a little bit lazy or tired or whatever, and they drop their hand into the trumpet like this. They stick their thumb all the way through, they hold the weight of the trumpet in their right hand instead of their left hand, and they play like that. Okay, there's some professionals that do that too, actually. And what happens is, if I am pushing the valves down, sometimes they get stuck, because with my hand pushed all the way through the instrument, now I'm pushing the valves on a slight angle, okay? And if the valves are pushed on an angle, sometimes they get stuck. So that's really annoying when you're playing trumpet. You want your valves to be able to go up and down. So I'm just gonna put the tip of my thumb under the lead pipe, right up against the valves. See how it sits right against the valves and right underneath the lead pipe? Right against the valves, right up against the lead pipe. Okay, and then just the tip of my pinky, not my whole pinky, not like that, okay? Just fingertips. And then I pretend I'm kind of like holding a tennis ball or some squishy ball in my hand, right? And then my fingers go right on top, not straight, but curved, right? Like we're making a C with our right hand, okay? So then fingertips with the left hand, fingertips with the right hand, and that's how we hold the trumpet. Simple. Moving right along. How to align and oil your valves. Whew. Okay, you ready? There are 3 valves on a trumpet. Pretty simple. Okay, I've got my valve oil here. I'm just taking the lid off right now. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can oil your valves. First of all, do this before band class, not during band class. Don't take your instrument apart in the middle of instruction. Do it beforehand, or do it at home while you're practicing. What I'm going to do, because my valve oil has a little sort of a needle type tip on it, I'm just going to rest it against the stem of the valve, and the oil is going to drip down inside the valves. Super simple, okay? Gravity's going to take care of the rest. It's going to pull the oil all the way through the piston, all the way down to the bottom, okay? And that's the quick way to do it. Here's the not quick way to do it, but it's a more thorough way, okay? Couple different ways to take your valves apart. Really important that you do this the right way. Do not unscrew this part of the valve. See the very top of the valve? It'll come right off, and we don't want that, okay? We want to take apart this guy right here, okay? So I'm going to unscrew that and show you what it looks like. Ready? Ta-da! Looks like Swiss cheese. It's got little holes to divert the air into different tubes inside your trumpet, and that's how you make different notes. Okay, so each valve is numbered. I don't know if you can see it there. It says number 1 on my number 1 valve. Okay? So the first valve goes closest to your nose. The second valve is the middle one, and the third one is the furthest one away. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put just a little tiny bit of oil, a little bit there and a little bit there. That's all I need, just a drop. And then I'm going to put it inside the valve casing, and I'm going to turn it and get that oil all the way around the piston so that there's no metal on metal contact. It's metal with oil before it touches another part of the metal. Okay, we really don't want to have metal on metal. That sounds bad. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. When you put your valves back in, they have to be aligned properly. If they don't align properly, it's going to sound funny. It's not going to work. It'll sound like this. I can't even get any air at all. It doesn't work. So what I do is that, first of all, make sure that this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, okay? Once you know that this is 1, 2, and 3, now we can turn the valve until it clicks. Watch this. Now it works perfectly. It just has to be aligned, and now it locks into place so that we know that this number 1 valve is working perfectly, okay? And all 3 valves have to be in perfect alignment for your trumpet to work properly, okay? So that's how you align your valves. I'm gonna put the lid back on, that's always a good idea, and put it back in my case. Now, quite often when you rent a trumpet, it comes with just regular kind of oil, okay? And that's the stuff they send out with all of the rentals. What you can do is the next time you're at the store, you can buy something that's maybe a little bit better than just the cheap stuff they put in a rental. Okay, it's not that much money. I've got a couple of different oils here that are under $10. Okay, there's that one, and then there's this one. You can pick the oil that you like the best. I would just ask them for something a little bit better. That first one was called Alcas, and this one's called La Tromba. And La Tromba is the one that I'm using right now. But there's a whole bunch of really good oils out there. Just something a little bit better than the standard stuff that comes with your trumpet rental will make your valves go up and down and make life a whole lot easier, okay? So if you're looking for a place to spend $5, music store is always a good place to go. Okay, now let's talk about how to make a sound on the trumpet. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take a second before I show you how to make a sound and show you how to put your trumpet down. Okay? Really important. You're going to see me in class putting my trumpet down like this on the floor. Okay? Please don't do that. Please don't do that, because I have one of these. And it looks like the trumpet is just balancing on its bell on the floor, when really I've got a trumpet stand that it sits on. Okay, so it won't fall over. If you just put it on its bell, there's a really good chance it's going to go kablooey. And that is really bad for a trumpet. Eventually, the trumpet's not going to work properly. You're going to have to take it into the shop. You're going to miss a whole bunch of band. That's not going to work. Okay, so when you're putting your instrument down, have your instrument case close by. I've got mine on a chair right next to the camera here. And you just put your trumpet down on its side on the floor. That way it can't fall off of your chair or your music stand. And certainly we don't want to put it up on its bell unless you have one of these great little trumpet stands. Okay? All right. So first thing, I'm going to pull out my mouthpiece. Put my trumpet back down on top of my case. There we go, nice and secure. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the mouthpiece and we're going to find what's most comfortable, approximately the center of our mouth. Maybe not off to the side like that, not too high, not too low. Okay, we want to sort of aim for equal top lip and bottom lip on the mouthpiece. All right. And we want to make a buzz on the mouthpiece. So what we're going to do is that we're going to press our lips together very naturally, just like you're saying the letter M, like like you're something that tastes really. You want some ice cream? And that's the shape of your embouchure. Embouchure is a word which just means the shape of our mouth when we make music on a wind instrument. And when we blow through our lips, our two lips are vibrating like this, really, really fast, many hundreds of times per second, and it makes that funny sound. Would you make that sound with me? Grab your mouthpiece and play along with me. I'll make a sound first, and then you mimic the sound after me. Go. Now, you can tell that I'm making different notes with the mouthpiece. You can make high sounds and you can make low sounds. If you're having troubles making a sound at all, if you're getting like, make sure your lips are touching inside the mouthpiece. Say before you play. And then blow through and your lips will start vibrating. Okay? And also, if you're having troubles, try doing this. Make a fist. Okay? And you can create, it'll be a little bit harder to blow, but maybe a little bit easier to buzz. Let's try doing some rainbows together. That's what I call them. We start low and we go high and then we go low again. Let's do that together. Kind of sounds like an ambulance, doesn't it? Don't call 911. It's just a trumpet warming up. How high can you go? Can you start really low and go really high? So this is a great way to warm up on your trumpet every single day. There's some professionals who've been doing this for decades. And guess what they do? They play on their mouthpiece every day. Okay? Makes a big difference. I even do that myself as a professional brass player. I play songs just on my mouthpiece. Okay? It's a very normal thing to do. Now, what we're going to do is that we're going to take our mouthpiece. You remember how to put it in the trumpet. Give it a little bit of a turn. There we go. And now we're going to make our first sound on the trumpet. Remember how to hold it? Left hand holds the weight. 2 fingers on the bottom. 2 fingers here. Thumb in the thumb saddle. Just fingertips is all you need. Fingertip here. Thumb under the lead pipe. Just the tip of the thumb, not the entire thumb. Just fingertips. And then hand on top like you're squeezing a ball. Let's play our first note. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to play a note and I want you to make the same sound that I make. First me, then you. Ready? Go. Now me. All right, how'd you do? You making a pretty sound? That's what we always want to do, is make a beautiful sound. Okay, it may not be perfect the first time you try. Big surprise, music is hard. Playing an instrument is hard. It's going to take years and years and years of dedication to make it sound really, really good. But for now, let's just practice making a beautiful sound. You don't want to make a big, loud blast. Nobody wants to listen to a trumpet player that does that. Okay, or any musician that just makes a big loud noise. We want to make it as pretty and as beautiful as we can, and we practice that every time we pick up the instrument. Every time we play a note, we do our best. Yeah, you with me? Great. All right. Now, I thought it would be fun with today's video to play our first song. Play a song already? I just picked up the instrument. I just learned how to hold it. That's okay. We're going to learn how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. Super, super simple. It only uses 3 notes. And the names of those notes are C, D, and E. And you've probably already learned how to read these notes in music class. But this is how they look for trumpet. Okay, so this note is called a C. It's below the staff. And what we do is that we push down none of the vowels. This is called open. Okay, and this is how you finger the note C. No fingers down whatsoever. Your turn. My turn. Good job. All right. How's that working? You making a beautiful sound? Here we go. The next note is called D. And you can see it's on the bottom space below the staff. And what we do is that we push down valves 1 and 3. We usually write it just, it looks like 13 underneath the note. And so we push down valves 1 and 3 at the same time. So we'll go from C to D. All right, here's a D. Your turn. Make it beautiful. All right, going well so far? If you're making weird gobbledy noises, that's okay. That's okay. Keep working at it. It takes a long time. I've developed these muscles over a lot of years of playing different instruments. And while I'm not a trumpet specialist, boy, for me, it takes a long time before I've gotten to this point. Okay, and I'm still learning, just like you are. Okay, so we'll learn together. Cool? Let's move on to the next note. Keep trying. Don't give up. The next note is called E. It's on the first line, and it's not 1 and 3, it's 1 and 2. So that's D, that's E. Practice switching between those two notes. Keep this finger down. There's D, 1 and 3. There's E, 1 and 2. D, E, D, E. We're going to play the note E. Follow me. Good job, good job. Now, you might notice that I am starting my notes. My notes have a real clear beginning to them, and that's because I'm tonguing the notes. So how do you tongue a note? Well, in its simplest definition, your tongue comes up inside your mouth, and can you feel right now with the tip of your tongue, the edge of your gums where it meets your teeth? You feel it right there? Say, I know it's weird. Hopefully nobody's looking over your shoulder right now and you can do this and not worry about looking funny. Just repeat after me. And so all of our notes have a definite beginning to them so that you can really hear what it is that I'm trying to do on the trumpet. We always want to start our notes very clearly. And the way we do that is by tonguing those notes, okay? So let's practice going C, D, E. And we're going to go, okay? We'll put a gap in between those two notes, those three notes, so that you can remember to switch your fingers, okay? Let's do it together. Start on a C, and then D, and then E. Okay, we'll go short, short, long, and then we'll rest. It'll make sense. Here we go. How is that? Are you making a nice clear sound? Is it a beautiful sound? We always want to sound beautiful. All right, the other way to switch between notes is what we call a slur. This happens when you play a note, let's say a C, and then you switch notes without tonguing at all. You just move your hand. So let's say we switch to a D. We're just going to go like this, C, D, C, D. And we're just going to blow through the instrument the whole time. We're not going to tongue the second note. We're just going to blow through the instrument and make a beautiful connection. We'll go back and forth between C and D. Okay, here we go. Again, go. Let's switch between D and E. This might be a little awkward for the first couple of tries. It's okay, you'll get better at it. With me, ready? How did that go? All right, I hope things are working out well for you. You know what? If you're struggling right now and something's not working right and you don't think that it sounds right or it doesn't feel right or something's weird, don't be shy, okay? Come and talk to me during class. I'm here to help you, and I've got lots and lots of tips and experience and little tricks that you can use to help you in learning the instrument. Learning an instrument is hard, okay? It takes a lifetime of study to get really, really good at an instrument, okay? And if you're not getting it right on the first day, it's okay, all right? Keep going, keep trying, and come and talk to me. Don't hide in the band. Now, we're going to play our first song, Mary Had a Little Lamb. It's super easy. It starts on an E, and then it goes D, and then it goes C. So we start on the top note, and we go E, D, C, D, E, E, E. All right? Let's play it together. Ready? Lift your instrument up, get your hand position just right. Load an E, because that's our first note, and here we go. How'd you do? Did you play your first song with me? How cool is that? Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, I noticed it while I was filming, is that I forgot to talk about your chin position while you're making your embouchure formation. There are some people that think they just need to clench all the muscles in their embouchure to make it strong enough or something, and they do this. Right? And they try and bring all those muscles together like a fist. And that's not really the way an embouchure is designed to work. What I want you to think about is kind of smiling a little bit when you play, like a bit of a smirk, like that. Do you notice that my chin gets nice and flat? Not bunchy like this. Like I got pouty face. Okay, I'm kind of smirking a little bit. I've got a bit of a funny joke happening inside, and I'm trying not to laugh. So a flat chin is going to make a beautiful sound, and a bunchy chin is going to work against you in being successful on the trumpet. Okay? Now, putting your trumpet away, one thing I didn't talk about yet was the water that accumulates inside of a trumpet. I always have a polishing cloth with me so that I can give my trumpet a little bit of a rub down when I finish playing. Mine's a silver trumpet, so it's important to keep it all nice and polished. And also cleaning out your mouthpiece. This is a really good practice to have, especially if we have band like right after recess or right after lunch. If you've had something to eat or drink, besides water, before you play the trumpet, really important that you rinse your mouth out, okay? You don't want to be like enjoying a lovely sweet little yogurt and then playing your trumpet. That's a bad combo, okay? So it's certainly when we're done playing, maybe once a week or even after band class or when you're home practicing, you can wash your mouthpiece under any faucet. A little bit of hand soap. You can use hand sanitizer on your trumpet mouthpiece too if you want to. Just make sure that you wash it after you use the hand sanitizer. So hand sanitizer, then soap, because you don't want to put hand sanitizer on your mouth. It's really gross. Okay, speaking from experience, that's a bad thing to do. Okay, and the other thing is that because you're blowing into a brass tube, there's condensation, there's water in your breath, right? Like if you've ever gone up to a window in fall or winter and gone, and you can draw a happy face on the window. Well, that's water on the window. That's condensation. And the same thing happens inside your metal trumpet. And that's what these are for, okay? These are water keys. Some people call them spit valves, okay? It's not actually a whole lot of spit that's in there, okay? If you're spitting in your trumpet, that's a separate issue. So what I normally do is that I have a cloth, or I have something on the floor, some paper towel or something to collect that water, because we don't want to leave a puddle of water on the floor and make somebody else clean that up. That's no good. Okay, so a little cloth, having that handy, will just keep everything nice and tidy. And then I take my mouthpiece off and it goes inside the little mouthpiece holder inside my case. I put my trumpet in its case. And then here's a little trick. Lock your trumpet case. Mine has a zipper so that when you pick it up, it doesn't fold open and go crash all over the floor. Trust me, closing your trumpet case is a really good idea to keep your trumpet from being damaged after band rehearsal. So I hope you've learned something new about the trumpet today. I hope it's something that you're going to put in place every time you pick up your instrument. And like I said at the beginning of the video, this is going to make a huge difference moving forward in band. If you have any questions, please come and talk to me. I'm the nicest guy in the room. My name is Mr. Ablett, and we're going to have a great year this year in band. So keep practicing. I'll see you soon. Bye.